Chapter 13. Kill the Monster. Harry watched from the balcony and sighed. He knew he had to let Stella go, but he already missed her. He heard the door open, and in came Jack the Strong Man. "Nice going, Harry," he exclaimed. "I know you had it in you to feel love." "Hey, what's wrong?" he asked abruptly. "I let her go," Harry confessed quietly. "Yes, you're very good. And wait, what?" Jack was speechless at what Harry had done. "But why?" he continued. Harry turned towards the Strong Man with a pained expression on his face and said, "Because I love her." "He did what?" Marty and Monkey both exclaimed, flabbergasted. "Yes, I'm afraid it's true," Jack said sadly. "But he was so close," Marty groaned in despair. "After all this time, he finally learned to love," Monkey mourned. Meanwhile, Stella struggled from the handcuffs. She was never one to give up. Then she remembered her pin on her desk. She could use it as a lockpick. Stella bashed her arm against her bedside table. Nothing. She kept releasing the method until she saw something drop on the ground. "Ha! Gotcha!" she whispered when she eyed the hairpin. Stella reached for her hairpin and grabbed it. Suddenly, she got an electric shock. "Oh yeah," Stella thought. "I forgot about the mega weapons. They must have had an effect on the metal." Stella grabbed the hairpin and tightened her grip on it. She then picked the lock on her handcuffs and stood up when she freed herself. "Right," she said brightly, as she brushed herself off. "Time to defeat a pretty boy." Stella picked the lock of her bedroom door and unlocked it. Then she ran to the left and towards the old tower where her sister was being kept. Jeremiah climbed onto his horse at his old palace, Goldshire, and rode towards the forest with the mob close behind him. "Walk on, Gaston," Jeremiah commanded as they all entered the forest. Lorna was bashing at the door of her prison cell in the tower. It was an old tower that no one had used in centuries. She wasn't giving up. She was about to bash the door again when it suddenly opened and Lorna bashed into someone. "Stella?" Lorna exclaimed. They lay on the ground, Lorna on top of Stella, and were face to face with each other. "Hi," they both said awkwardly in unison. Both girls stood up. "Come on," Stella spoke quickly. "We have to save Harry. Prince Jeremiah is evil and they're trying to kill him. I know," Lorna said, raising a hand for silence. "He was the one who put me here." Lorna bowed her head in shame. "I trusted him, Stella, and he betrayed us." "I know," Stella mournfully moaned. "I trusted him too." Then she grabbed Lorna's hands. "Come, we can still save Harry and make Jeremiah pay." She then spied a suit of armor holding an old battle axe. Stella smirked and went towards the suit before grabbing the axe. She then turned towards Lorna and said, "Right, let's go prince hunting." The circus performers were all in the balcony room contemplating on what to do next, when Jack called out to Marty and Monkey from the balcony. "Guys, come and look at this," he exclaimed. The acrobats rushed over and looked outside. "Intruders!" the acrobats exclaimed in unison. "I'll go and warn the master," Jack told the acrobats before rushing off. Marty and Monty looked at each other in a panic. "What should we do?" Marty cried. "We fight," Monty stated. "Get the bows and arrows from the old cupboard over there." He pointed at the cupboard in the corner. Jack rushed through the hallway and reached Harry's bedroom door. He knocked on it loudly. "Master! Master! Come out here, please!" Jack waited for a moment, and the door slowly opened. "Leave me be, please," Harry muttered sadly. "But sir, the house is under attack," Jack protested. Harry sighed. "Just let him come." And then he shut the door in Jack's face. "No, wait, but Harry..." But Harry didn't listen. Jack sighed in frustration. "Ugh, now what do I do? We're going to have to fight them ourselves." Stella rode on Belle, with Lorna sitting behind her. They rode through the forest until they could see the house. Stella could see someone go inside. Jeremiah and his newfound mob went inside the big circus house and took a look around. "Take down anyone who stands in our way. But remember, the clown is mine!" Jeremiah shouted. Suddenly they heard a creak, and Monty's voice shouted, "Attack!" The circus performers jumped down from their hiding spot with their bows and arrows. The mob took a step back and withdrew their weapons. They had guns and swords. Jeremiah took a step forward and withdrew his sword before giving a battle cry, and the mob rushed towards the circus performers. They all shot at each other and dodged the attack. They kept shooting when they heard two voices shout, "Stop!" The mob and the performers looked at where the noise was coming from. There stood Stella and Lorna in the doorway. "Don't hurt each other, performers. These people aren't evil. They were just manipulated by Jeremiah. They're from my home, Buckingham Palace." The performers looked at each other. "And the mob and the performers aren't evil. The clown Jeremiah told you about hasn't hurt me. He's sweet and kind. He's my friend. Please don't hurt him." The mob lowered their weapons. "But Jeremiah said you died," a guard said in a bewildered tone. Stella was about to say something when Lorna laid a hand on her shoulder. "Go and find Jeremiah," she told her sister. "I'll explain everything to these people." Stella nodded and went to find the prince who betrayed them. Meanwhile, Jeremiah roamed the corridor. Come out, wherever you are," he called out. He had a quiet moan come from the door next to him and smirked. "Gotcha," he muttered. Jeremiah opened the door and saw the towering figure of a clown staring out of the window. The clown turned around and stood up. "Who are you?" he demanded. Jeremiah withdrew his sword and took a step forward. "I'm the one who's going to kill you. Stella told me all about you, how you hurt her. She ran to me when she needed me the most." Harry didn't trust this man, but his words were wrapping around his mind. "She ran into my arms," Jeremiah continued, smirking. "She said, 'Oh, Jeremiah, I love you so much. This clown monster tried to kill me.' Jeremiah mimicked Stella's voice, which made Harry's blood boil, but he snapped when Jeremiah said, "She used you. She doesn't love you anymore. She could never love a monster." Harry roared and lunged at the prince, but his legs felt weak and gave way, and all of a sudden he fell to the ground. The spell was killing him, and it was going to kill the performers in the castle. The last petal was going to fall very soon. Harry tried to stand up, but Jeremiah rushed towards him and headbutted him in the stomach. Harry flew back and crashed through the window, landing on the roof. Jeremiah stood up on the windowsill and chuckled cruelly before jumping onto the roof. Harry tried to get up, but the spell that the enchantress kept him down. He was going to die. Jeremiah kicked him off the roof, and Harry grabbed the railing. He looked up at the prince and sneered. "Do your worst," he shouted. Jeremiah smirked and raised his sword above his head. He was about to stab Harry when he heard a familiar voice say, "Stop!" Jeremiah turned to see Stella, holding a battle axe, her face filled with rage. Jeremiah snarled at her and turned back to Harry. He raised his sword up in the air and plunged it down towards Harry's forehead when it hit something metal. Jeremiah realized that the sword was being blocked by an axe. He turned his face to the owner. "You!" he cried when he saw Stella. "I thought you were locked in your room." Stella chuckled. "I might be dying from poison, but I still have a few hours to defeat you. Now get away from my future boyfriend, you pretty boy bastard!" she shouted. Stella pushed the sword out of reach with her axe, sending Jeremiah stumbling back. Jeremiah managed to get his balance back and rushed to stab at Stella, but she blocked the stab, and the two weapons kept hitting each other in a duel to the death. Jeremiah grabbed Stella by the hair and threw her to the ground. They wrestled, and Stella tried to get up, but Jeremiah was choking her. "Poisoning you was the only option I had left," Jeremiah snarled. "You could have been my bride. I could have rescued you, and you would be fine. But you had to ruin everything by coming back," he cried. "That's why I poisoned your parents, to prevent them from getting in the way of our marriage. I wouldn't have had to poison you either if you hadn't come crying to me going, 'Oh, Jeremiah, I miss you so much.'" Jeremiah once again mimicked Stella's voice. Something snapped in Stella when Jeremiah had confessed to her parents' murder. She snapped. You, she choked out, wheezing for breath. Then she knocked Jeremiah in the groin and pushed him off. She stood up in a rage and panted for breath. "You killed my parents?" she shouted. Jeremiah stood up and chuckled. "Jesus Christ, you princesses aren't very perceptive. Of course I killed them. Didn't you already get that by me poisoning you?" Stella picked up her axe. Stella breathed, "I'm not a princess!" She rushed towards the prince and took a swing at his head, but he ducked and kicked Stella in the stomach, seeing her falling off the roof, but she grabbed the ledge just in time. "Any last words, my love?" Jeremiah sneered. Stella tried to get up, but Jeremiah pressed his book on her hand. He rolled his eyes. "Women," he muttered. Harry pulled himself up onto the roof. He saw that Stella was about to get hurt. He roared loudly and rushed towards the prince. He grabbed Jeremiah by the neck, making him cry out, and they both rolled on top of the roof in a wrestling match. "You will not hurt her," he shouted at Jeremiah. Jeremiah punched Harry in the face and quickly stood up. Harry tried getting up, but the spell was slowly killing him inside. He tried to stand, but felt a stabbing pain in his leg. Jeremiah had stabbed him with his sword. Harry cried out in pain and crouched down, clutching his bleeding leg. "Any last words, freak?" Jeremiah smirked. Harry only looked up at the prince and snarled, "Do your work, you pathetic Trump knockoff!" Jeremiah smirked and raised the sword above his head. "I am inevitable," he cried. Stella pulled herself up onto the roof when she heard Jeremiah. She saw him raise the sword above his head and remembered the mega snappers on her hands. She quickly took off her gloves and rushed towards the prince. "No!" she cried. And just as Jeremiah was about to stab Harry, Stella jumped in the way and felt a stab in her stomach. "And I am Stella." She then gripped the blade with both hands and felt an electric charge run through the sword and onto the handle. Then Jeremiah felt a bolt of electricity slice through him. He cried out and let go of the sword before falling unconsciously onto the roof. Stella pulled the blade out of her stomach and fell to the ground. Harry just fell to the ground next to her. The spell was doing its work. Chapter 14. No Matter What. "This doesn't look too good, Harry," Stella wheezed as she was dying. "Well, at least we're dying together. The spell is going to kill me soon anyway. But at least I got to know you first." Stella took Harry's hand and she tightened his grip on hers. "Same to you," she whispered. They both looked up at the sky and then started to sniff. And a tear came out of each eye, and of each their eye, and slipped to the ground, nearly touching. "I have died every day waiting for you." Stella started singing, and they both started singing together. "Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more." And they closed their eyes. Meanwhile, in the house, the performance started to feel strange. "Hey, what's wrong with you guys?" Lorna asked. "The pedal must be about to fall," Marty told her. "Marty?" "Marty?" Marty said from behind. "I don't feel so good." Lorna kicked me Jack fall to the ground. Then she saw that they all started to glow. Are you alright? Marty asked. "I don't know what's happening, Marty," Marty groaned before collapsing in his arms. I don't want to go, Marty. I don't want to go. Marty, please." And they both fell to the floor. They closed their eyes tightly and held their hands in preparation for their fate. Jack crawled over and held Monty's left hand. No, Lorna whispered. She ran upstairs and into Harry's room. She looked out the window to see Harry and Stella laying on the rooftop, dead. No! She shouted. Lorna climbed onto the window sill and carefully walked towards Stella and Harry on the roof. She knelt down near the two bodies and started shaking them. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Please, don't die on me, please. Her eyes filled with tears and she bowed her head. I'm sorry. There was silence all around. Tears poured from Lorna's eyes as she wept. The last petal fell slowly and slowly fell to the bottom of the dome that the flower was held in. Suddenly, the tears of Harry and Stella started glowing and fused together to make a heart. Then the two corpses started to glow and then hovered in the air. Lorna's mouth dropped open as she could see the stab wounds were disappearing and closing up. Their eyes opened and Harry slowly landed on his feet. Stella slowly hovered to the ground. Harry slowly walked towards her. Stella? Stella then stood up and she looked at Harry. They were eye to eye with each other. Stella, you sacrificed yourself for me, Harry remarked. Stella took a step forward and tucked his face in her hand. Of course I did. I love you. Harry was taken aback at first. You do? He asked. Stella! Lorna cried, and Stella was bombarded with a massive hug. I'm so glad you're okay. Stella patted Lorna's back. Thanks, Nick, but you're squeezing me. Lorna quickly pulled back. Oh, sorry. Suddenly, there was a flash of light, and the enchantress appeared in front of them. Well done, my child, she congratulated Harry. You finally learned to love. Harry took a step forward and bowed. Thank you, Mom. He then stood up. But the spell! You said it would be broken, and I'm still a clown. The enchantress chuckled. Oh, my dear child, I said the spell would break, not that you would turn back into a human. Tell me, would you rather turn human and risk losing someone who only cares about outer appearance? Or would you rather stay as you are and be with someone who truly loves you no matter what? Harry thought for a moment. I'd rather be with someone who loves me for who I am, but... He turned to Stella. Stella, what do you want? Say it now and the enchantress can make it happen. Stella looked at the enchantress and then back at Harry. All I want to do is be with the clown I fell in love with. Stella closed Harry's eyes, then her own, and they kissed. Well, my work here is done, the enchantress said out loud before vanishing. Once the new couple had broken away, they looked out the window and saw the second performer standing there. Then Harry saw Jeremiah waking up. He was about to go and beat him up when Stella held him back. Let Lorna and I deal with him, she told him. Go and have some family time. Jeremiah ran through the corridor trying to find his way out. Stella, baby, you know I love you, he protested. Liar! The two girls shouted. Jeremiah crashed into a wall and he fell to the ground. He turned to face the angry girl. "Stay back! I'm stronger than you," he nervously threatened. "Nothing is stronger than a scorned lover," Stella snarled before punching Jeremiah over and over. "Just give me a chance. I'm really not that bad," the prince whined. Stella and Lorna rolled up their sleeves and looked over at Jeremiah. Stella only said one thing to him. "Jeremiah, just shut up," before the two girls finally got their revenge. Epilogue. Happily Ever After. 2 months later, Stella and Lorna were back at Buckingham Palace. Everyone in the palace bombarded the two girls with loads of questions like, "Where's Jeremiah?" And some who still didn't quite believe that the clown was good asked, "What did that monster do to you?" But Stella only said that she would explain everything the next morning. Once everybody had gathered in the Great Hall, Stella took center stage and cleared her throat before speaking into the microphone. "Now, I know you all have a ton of questions, and no, the clown did not hurt me. He's actually really sweet and kind." Stella looked at a blonde man in the first row, the enchantress giving him a ring that could transform him into a human and back if ever he needed to go into town and blend in with the crowd. Stella continued to speak. "I may have come back, however, I will not be taking my mother's place as queen. But don't worry, I leave you in good hands. The hands that took care of me growing up. I give you your new queen, my sister Lorna." Stella took off her crown and placed it on Lorna's head as she walked over. "Should I tell them what happened to Jeremiah?" Lorna whispered. Stella thought for a moment before they both went, "Nah." "Goodbye, everyone," Stella said in the microphone one last time before she hugged Lorna, and stepped off stage. "Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything," Stella whispered in Lorna's ear. Lorna whispered back, "You're welcome," and Stella was off. Harry stood up and Stella took his arm. "Ready to go?" she asked. Harry shrugged. "Ready when you are, my love." They walked outside and got into their new car before Harry took off his ring and resumed his clown form. They had gotten the new car and sold the old circus house they had all bought a big house on the Isle of Wight. Harry turned towards Marty and Monty, who were married, and Jack, who was sleeping next to them, and said, "Ready?" The two acrobats looked at each other and said, "Ready," and they drove off. Harry turned to Stella and said, "So what did we do? What did you do to Jeremiah?" Stella gave a cheeky giggle and a guilty smile. "We took care of him." They both smiled and drove off into the morning sunrise, and they lived happily ever after. Right, well, that's all I have for... That's the end of the story. I can't believe it took 3 years to finally complete this, but we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We finally completed and finally come to an end of this story. I was going to do a sequel, but honestly, with how many plot holes I've kind of noticed in this story, in truth, I don't think the story was as well written as I would have liked it to have been. But I mean, let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and I will see you all next time on Harry Flew TV. I remember it, so you don't have to.